So for that, what we do in the system, we create some domains. And through that domain only we will segregate it. So I will create one domain for India. And again, I will create another domain from Singapore. You will be the owner of Singapore domain. I will be the owner of India domain. If you want, that's not necessary, maybe AMD is working in one legal entity itself and you are the sole owner. One HRIS is already available. But there are cases where people have different legal entities and they say one legal entity should have a different owner. The other one should have a different one. Okay. So it's simple, just take this example. We have 3 legal entities and we want to set up this legal entity separately so that everyone is separately managing their legal entity. Every HRIS. So how will you do that? For that we go to For that you need to go to security domain. Okay. These are initial settings. So don't worry about that. Again. We will come back to this in detail. What now I'm doing? My company said, okay, I have different legal entities, or no, I have only one legal entity, but I want some people to be there who will be actually managing it. Why? Because I have done all the settings, basic settings. Now I have to create the master admin in the system. The HRIS team, who will actually be working on this. All I'm saying that now what we are doing. That first we did all the basic settings. Now we are saying we are creating those HRIS, security admin, who will be actually working on this admin part from the beginning. Okay. So for that what we do, we create different domains. Okay. I go to domain and I click on add new. And I create domain. So domain ID. I can give anything like this one. For an example. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to add that. Okay. I have the security domain now. Okay. So level 1 is nothing, but this is the security domain I will be using going forward. I will assign this security 1, test 1 domain to you. And you will be the owner of the system. Next, you go on make all changes. You don't pass it to person. When you add them, they will automatically have access to this and they will go and make the changes. Okay. Now, if I click on domain and I click on search, blank search. You will see our test. 1 will be somewhere. So I will start with. Let's say these are different ways how you can search for a particular domain. There are 100 of that. You can't search for that. So I said security domain ID starts with. How do you want to search? Exact means you have to type in the exact name. Okay. You can say any means. Let's say, I have created test Singapore. So any one of them. So I said either write test or Singapore. Search for any one of the word. Or it starts with what is the first letter that starts with. So whichever domain that starts with test will automatically appear. Then I say contains. There can be a bigger name, but it contains something like this, like I said, test Singapore. So it contains test. So all the domains with test which contains test word will automatically populate. And then doesn't contain. I want everything, but not this. This is the case sensitive. And these are the things through which you search for your any particular attribute. So I said that I want to search for a domain that starts with test. I give it test. Correct. And I click on search. So let me see. This is how you searching everything. Then if you want to make any changes, you would click on this edit option, not the glass item. And you work on that. And we check the security for domain type. Okay. All these things you can handle. Now the second is security domain group. All. You don't have to do anything else. You created a group here and you tag all your domains. So group means what? You club all the domains at one place. Let's say, you created 5 domains, 15 different domains. You club them and you define that. Okay, now Janice will be the person who will be looking after the Singapore legal entity. Okay. You search for. Just make a blank search. And from here you see, you go to any one of them from income ID. And you attach your domains here. Now what I mean. So I created a test domain. And I will do what? I will essentially India, US public. Public will always be there. This is by default from city. But I did. I created one for India, one for the USA. You can create it first, like, let's say, Singapore or something. And you attach it. I said now India ID. So now, if I attach this domain, India, like anybody from the India domain, will only have access to this India part. You are from Singapore. I have created a security domain called test1. So you will only have access to this. So I'm in the Singapore. So this is how we restrict you. That you can only and only view or access Singapore domain.